All right. So Clemson is losing 21-34 to Syracuse. Yeah, that's right. You heard me right. To Syracuse. I don't know what's going to happen if they lose. Will Dabo get fired? Will they finally say enough is enough? Syracuse has the ball right now. It's 34-21. They're only down 2 scores. So Clemson still has a chance to get back into the game and take the lead. But their defense is going to have to show up and get stops. Because if you're Syracuse, the clock is your friend. If you're Clemson, the clock is your enemy. And right now it's 3rd down and 13, 4th quarter. It's about 6 minutes and 57 seconds to go. So if Syracuse is 3rd and 13, I don't know if they'll get the first down here, but if they do, that'll be huge because that'll be more time off the clock for Clemson to be able to come back in this game. Let's see. He goes back, throws it. He's going to be short. Yeah, he didn't even catch it. That's an incomplete pass. So right there, that stops the clock. That's not really good. I don't know if Syracuse has ever been in this position before because just their drive alone on this drive to go ahead and just run that clock has been absolutely horrific. But, maybe they're just nervous because they're right at the finish line and they know they just need to hold on a little bit longer. And Clemson, they are getting the ball back with 6 minutes and 53 seconds. So there is still a chance, but they're going to have to score on basically every single possession from here on out. I really don't think you can afford to not score on a possession. I really just don't think so. You're just going to run out of time. And they still have 2 timeouts. And a 2-minute warning. So technically they have 3 timeouts. But still. And with the 2-minute warning also, it really gives you teams 4 timeouts if you kind of think about it. Because 2-minute warning, obviously, it stops the clock. So it's basically like a timeout. So really, now with the 2-minute warning in place in college football, there's 4 timeouts that you get. And so that really does come in handy, especially if you're only losing by like a field goal and you need to get to stop and you need to get the ball back. But we're about to see what Clemson does with this ball. They got to do something or else it's going to be game over for them. And they do start off with a good pass. I think they are working. Well, no. Now, if I was Clemson, I thought that player got out of bounds, but he didn't. But if I'm Clemson, I'm telling my players, like, hey, look, get out of bounds. Preserve as much time as possible on that clock because you don't know how much time you'll exactly need to be able to score a touchdown and get back into the game. But for whatever reason, Syracuse is going with this soft coverage, and Clemson right now is taking advantage of that, and their players are getting wide open. And Syracuse is just basically, I don't know why they're playing soft coverage. I really don't. I think that's a bad play call. You're just leaving the players open for them to catch it. Yeah, see, just like that pass right there. That pass was wide open because of the soft coverage that Syracuse is playing. At this point, I'm pretty sure Syracuse is just trying to hang on. They're just trying to get out of there with the win. And Clemson may be playing. This may be the game that Clemson is playing for Dabo's job right here. And he had to throw it out of bounds because nobody was open. See, that was good tight coverage right there. Don't leave anybody open. Bring the blitz. Bring the rush if you're Syracuse. You do not want to give this guy time in the pocket to find an open wide receiver or to just take off down the field. You definitely want to blitz and you want to rush him into hopefully making a terrible decision. But that clock is ticking. The clock is moving. Just 5 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Luckily, there was nobody open, so the quarterback from Clemson did the wise thing, threw the ball out of bounds and stopped the clock. It's 2nd and 10. He goes back to pass. He throws it up deep. Who's he? Oh, okay. So he did have a man wide open, but he just overthrew him, man. He just completely overthrew him. If it would have been on target and the ball would have dropped in the basket, which is a football term for like, when the receiver has like hands like in a certain way or whatever. But if he would have dropped that ball or straight into the basket, that would have been a good pass. But he just overthrew him, man. He threw the ball way out further than what his wide receiver was. Now it's 3rd and 10. Is this 4th down territory? Absolutely. The game's on the line for Clemson. You cannot afford to punt this ball away. Being down 2 scores especially. He goes back to pass. Oh, just right off the hands of the receiver. Oh, you got to go for it, man. It's 4th and 10. You got to go. There ain't really no other option. You punt the ball here, the game's over. I mean, if they don't make this, the game's also going to be over. I don't see how they can recover. I mean, Syracuse, if Syracuse gets the turnover, they will be able. They won't be. Well, actually, yeah. Okay, I take that back. Syracuse will be on their side of the field. So 4th and 10. This is Clemson's moment. He hacks the ball, gets back. He's looking for a wide receiver open. He throws the ball and intercepted by Syracuse. Oh, it's G.O. It is G.O. No way Clemson recovers. What an INT by the Syracuse defense. Oh, man, it's all bad for Clemson. Woo! Looks like Clemson's going to start the season 1-3. Ouch! Ouch! How does that feel, Clemson fans? I want to know. I'm an Ohio State fan. We never, ever recently, maybe like way back in the past, there was a team, Ohio State team that started the season 1-3. But ever since I've been alive, I've never seen my team go 1-3 to start the season, so I don't know how that feels. So if you're a Clemson fan, let me know down in the comment. How does it feel that your team is about to go 1-3 and probably will go 1-3? Ouch! 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 And better yet, what's going to happen to Dabo? Are they going to keep Dabo around? Me personally, I think, my opinion, that they will keep Dabo around just because he's been around forever. I don't really see them getting rid of him, but what if they do? What does that mean for Clemson? Now, Dabo already said that if they get rid of me, I'm going to go to another team and coach football still. So we know what Dabo's going to do if he gets fired. Or maybe Dabo will just be like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm leaving. I'm going to a different school. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to watch the coming weeks about the Dabo situation. Will he get fired? Will he just leave? Will somebody else on the staff get fired? Which, personally, I think, listen, Dabo's not a terrible coach. He's won national championships before. So he absolutely knows what it takes to win a national championship. Okay, he's not a terrible coach by any means of the imagination. No docs on him at all. But starting the season 1-3, that's a hard one to recover from, man. I don't know what they're gonna do with Dabo. I don't know. Will they fire Dabo? That's gonna be the title of this video. Will Dabo get fired or something like that? I don't know. I'll think about that later. But yeah, Syracuse came up with that huge INT, and for whatever reason, Syracuse called a timeout. I thought Clemson tied it up, but no. Syracuse called a timeout. They're 3rd and 7. Really, if I'm Syracuse, you just want to keep running the ball, run that clock. That's all you really want to do. I wouldn't even throw it if I was Syracuse. My defense is playing outstanding. It's 34-21, up 2 scores. There's only 3 minutes and 42 seconds left on the clock. Run the ball. Force Clemson to lose their timeouts because Clemson's only got 2 timeouts. Well, 3, including the 2-minute time. So technically they got 3, but still, with down 2 scores, I mean, it looks like Clemson's just going to be 1-3. So let's see. Syracuse called a timeout. They're probably going to throw the ball. They probably do want to get this first down, then start working the clock. But we'll see. They got that huge turnover. He throws the ball, and it's dropped. See, that right there, that helps Clemson a lot. That preserves that time on the clock for Clemson. So Clemson is going to have to do something. They got 4 downs, to get a first down if they don't get a first down. But basically 4 downs to get a touchdown also, because field goal in this situation helps you, doesn't help you. Even if you were to get a field goal. Let's say 24, 24, 25, 26, 27. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, a field goal does nothing. You need touchdowns. But Clemson defense did get a 3 and out, so they're getting the ball back. But just a good kick by the returner on Syracuse. Syracuse has put in work in this entire game. I thought Clemson maybe would rally after that weather delay, but no. Syracuse was ready and willing to go. Now, there's also another game on, Oklahoma and Auburn right now. I might do a reaction during the fourth quarter on that. I'm not 100% sure, but again, both of those teams are undefeated, and I feel like Oklahoma is trying to make, their statement, their stamp on the SEC. They didn't do it last year. They didn't do it the year before. I don't know how long they've been, but I think no less than 2 years. But they haven't really put their stamp on the SEC. So that's what Oklahoma's looking to do today, to beat a good Auburn team. Auburn's always going to be good. They're not, well, no, they're at least going to be decent, Oh, I shouldn't say good, because decent is below the word good, but nonetheless, it's, I think I don't really care who wins that game, but I mean, I still love college football, so I still watch the games. Even though I'm not. Sometimes I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just scribbling my words. It's 2nd and 10. Clemson's got the ball. They're throwing it out of bounds. There's 3 minutes. There's about 3 minutes, 13 seconds left on the clock. That's exactly how much time. I don't know why I said about. I don't know why I'm just rambling on at this point. What am I doing with my life? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Okay, no, I'm trying to be funny. Okay, I know I'm not funny. All right, you guys ain't got to let me know in the comments. But, yeah, man, I don't know. Will Dabo get fired? Will Clemson actually fire Dabo? If they do, man, just that'll only blow my mind, because I really don't. I think they're just going to stick with Dabo no matter what. He's been coaching there, I don't even know how many years. Seems like forever, honestly. Ever since I first started watching college football. Now, he wasn't the Clemson coach back then, but like when I got into my 20s, I don't know how long he's been there, but he's been in there for a long time. So will they actually get rid of Dabo? I don't know. Maybe Dabo will just leave. I don't know what's going to happen to Clemson going forward after this performance. I mean, being 1-3 and you're Clemson, come on. Listen, I don't even like Clemson, but even I can say Clemson can do a whole lot better than that. I don't know if it's the offensive coach. I don't know if it's the defensive coach. I don't know if it's the special teams coach. I don't know if it's the strengthening coach. But either way, something's got to happen to Clemson. Somebody deserves to get fired, in my opinion. Maybe they'll just stick with the staff that they have and continue to lose more games. Clemson is trying to fight back, though, but a flag is down. It's probably going to be on Clemson's offense. But again, no takeaway from Syracuse. They're absolutely balling. They're balling right now. They've been balling ever since the game. They were ready for this game. They were so excited for the game, and they came in with a good game plan, because I think like the start of the second quarter, the head coach of Syracuse came out and said, well, we're trying to keep, the Clemson's offense on the sideline. Try to limit their possessions. And they did a good job at that. They absolutely did. And it's 1st and 20 right there. The 2-minute warning is coming about. He throws the ball. Okay, so he got a couple, but he ran out of bounds. But that don't matter, because now it's the 2-minute warning. So, I mean, it's looking really bad for Clemson right here, man. I don't think they're going to win this game. I think they already lost. I'd be surprised if they were able to get a touchdown because you think about it, they only got 2 timeouts now officially with the 2-minute warning being so. They're going to have to hurry up, score a touchdown, and they're going to have to kick an onside kick, and hopefully they get it. I know Syracuse kicked a surprise onside kick, and they got an extra possession. So that's also another reason why they're up because of that extra possession that nobody really saw them doing. So I don't know. I don't know, man. What you do? Honestly, if I'm the athletic director and for Clemson and I'm watching this game and knowing just we're going to start the season, maybe it's time. Maybe it is about that time that, they just part ways. Let Clemson bring in a new head coach. Let Dabo, because he's not going to have a hard time finding another school. Again, he's a good football coach. All right, I'll give him that. So he ain't going to have trouble. And UCLA fired their head coach and another team fired their head coach. So they're definitely looking for coaches. And if Dabo gets fired or ends up leaving Clemson, then yeah, I'm sure one of those teams are definitely going to be trying to pick him up. I mean, why wouldn't you if you're looking for a brand new coach, But I guess only time will tell. Maybe my thinking is that the outcome is just going to be they're just going to stick with Dabo and the coaching staff that they have. Maybe Dabo will make some minor adjustments to the coaching staffs. I don't know, but this is a really, 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 really bad look for Clemson. So it's going to be, I'm going to keep a close eye on what happens to Dabo here. But wow. I mean, even the Clemson fans have checked out of this game. I mean, they just left early. They didn't even want to see the game because they know their team is doing poor. They're just doing not a good job at all. And all their teams have abandoned them. All the fans up in the stands. There's like a few fans, a true diehard fans. Listen, if I was at Ohio State game, okay, and my team was doing this bad, I'm staying to the end. Not because I bought the tickets. Obviously, that is part of the reason. But the main reason is because I'm a fan. I'm not going to abandon my team. Now, obviously, it would suck to watch that terrible display of football, but I would still support my team. People ask me all the time, well, what if Ohio State, only won one game the entire season? Then would you still be Ohio State fan? Yes! Yes, I would still be Ohio State fan. I'm not changing my favorite football team just because of a terrible season, first of all. And now I'll be complaining. Heck yes, I'm going to be complaining if that ever happens. But I'm still going to be with my team because that is my team, the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm ride or die with them. So, okay, I thought that was going to be intercepted. Clemson, the quarterback, threw a pass, and it went right off the receiver's hands, and it went up in the air, and there was like 2, maybe 3 Syracuse players right around. I thought they were going to get another INT, but no, they didn't get it. So now it's 3rd and 5. So Clemson's got this down and one more down to get it, pending if disaster don't strike for Clemson. But this is totally getting toward the end of the game. Let's see what they do here. He's going back to pass. He's throwing it up. That was weird. Okay, so the receiver took off. The quarterback for Clemson went back. He threw it, but the wide receiver for Clemson wasn't even looking back at the ball. He didn't even realize he was throwing the football. So that was definitely a miscommunication between quarterback and wide receiver, but it is 4th down. It's 4th and 5. Game's on the line right here. 1 minute, 45 seconds. They're not using any timeouts, so this is all on the quarterback and the wide receivers. I'm sure they got to play from the sideline. Let's see what happens here right now. They're lining up. They're getting ready to go. They hike the ball. The quarterback's going back. Oh, it's over. Turnover on downs. It is over. The quarterback threw the ball way in front of the wide receiver. I mean, like, okay, here's the wide receiver, right? Here's the football. The football is like way over here, and the wide receiver is like way over here. I do not know why he made that pass. I mean, yeah, his wide receiver was open, but why even like throw it like way in front of him where he can't even have a chance to at least touch the ball? So right there, incomplete pass. Dabo on the sideline is not happy. You can completely tell. All the players on Clemson's side are just shocked right now. Dabo is just really mad. You can really tell. It's kind of funny, if I'm being honest, that he's really this mad. I mean, he's had a right to do, right? I mean, what can you do? Now, you're Syracuse. You just run the football, run that clock. Clemson's only got 2 timeout. They take one here. They're going to take one on 3rd down. They're not going to be able to stop it on 4th. There will be some time left on the clock, but not much. It's this game over, man. Now, the bigger question again is, what's going to happen to Dabo? Is he going to get fired? I don't think he gets fired. I think they keep him around. He's been around to Clemson. They absolutely love him. Will I be shocked that they fire him? No, I won't be shocked. Not after this performance. Will I be shocked if Dabo leaves Clemson? No, I won't, because he's already talked about that scenario. But 1-3 for the start of the season. Ooh, I mean, you had a long off season to get your team ready and prepared, and they just did not accept the message that Dabo was trying to give them. So something's got to change in Clemson, man. Something. But, hey, hats off to Syracuse. They came and played today. Their team played hard. It looks like they're about to get another first down to put this game on ice. Clemson just called their final timeout. It is 3rd down. Obviously, Syracuse is just going to run the ball here. Why would you throw it, right? That'd be stupid. And, I just saw the score for Oklahoma and Auburn, and that game is tied 10-10. So that's going to be another fun, close game to watch. Also, and what I said earlier in my last video, yes, Washington is playing Washington State. So I'm hoping that Washington will be able to beat Washington State only because Washington will be undefeated, and we're obviously undefeated when we play them next week, and we can give them, Washington, their first L of the season. And, we can get that big game underneath our belt. What I feel about Washington, I don't know. They're up and down every single year. It's hard to, put them in a category of decent, or this just depends, honestly. But, yeah, Syracuse, I think they might have got the first down to put the game away. I'm not sure. It depends on the spot. Maybe they were a little bit short, but either way, it's already over. Clemson's going 1-3. Wow. Man. If I'm the athletic director from Clemson, man, I feel like it's this time. I would just be like, yeah, Dabo, we appreciate everything you've done for us, but it's probably time for us to part ways. I wish you nothing but the best, Dabo, and whatever college team you're going to coach next. But, yeah, I don't know. But, again, I'm not going to be surprised if they keep him around. I'm not going to be surprised if they don't fire him. I'm not going to be surprised if Dabo decides to leave. Maybe he even recognizes that, hey, this ain't working out. I mean, it seems like a long time ago. Even though it wasn't really that long. I think it was 2017, the last time Clemson, maybe it was, hold on, I never have my phone around every time I do these, and I need to fact check. But the point being that, it wasn't that long ago, less than 10 years maybe, that Dabo won the national championship with Clemson. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. And it is halftime for the Auburn-Oklahoma game. Oklahoma's ranked 11, Auburn's ranked 22. 10-10 for that game. So who knows? Oklahoma's trying to put their stamp on the SEC, and Auburn's just trying to be like, well, we've been in SEC longer than you have, so you ain't going to get a game past us. But it looked like Syracuse was going to take a knee, but they faked it. And they got the first down. This game's over. So Clemson falls to 1-3 on the season. What a terrible start for Clemson. Their players, their coaches, their fans. Oh, man, I don't know how that feeling is. I do not know how. How does it feel to have your team start 1-3? Worst start. It is the worst start under Dabo Swinney. If that don't say something, then I don't know what does. The worst start ever for Dabo Swinney and his team. Wow. Just wow. I don't know what they're going to do, man. The worst start. But hats off to Syracuse. They definitely balled out. They really wanted to win. You could tell their team was more motivated than Clemson's team. And Clemson's team did not perform. So, I don't know what they're going to do at Clemson. Will they keep Dabo? Will Dabo leave? Will some coaches get fired on the Clemson staff? They got to do something. I don't feel like they're going to be able to correct this problem going forward if they just keep everything the same. I feel like there's something there that needs to change for Clemson, or else their season is just going to get worse and worse. And heck, they might not even win 6 games. They might not even make it to a bowl game. But for Syracuse, bright future ahead for Syracuse. They do got some good talent on their team. So moving forward for Syracuse, they're in the ACC, so they got some good competition they're going to be facing. So only time will tell with Syracuse. I'm assuming that Syracuse won't make the playoffs, but I do believe that, they will get into some type of bowl game. I don't know, but let's just be honest. Bowl games are kind of like secondary prizes. It's basically like anticipation reward bowl games, right? But nonetheless, so if you're a Syracuse fan, you can. I would be happy if you were a Syracuse fan of where your team's at right now. But only time will tell if they continue to win or not. But yeah, Dabo Swinney, he looks like he's getting ready to cry. It's actually kind of funny. Yeah, Dabo looks like he's getting ready to cry. I don't know if Dabo's thinking that this is it for him, but he's getting ready to cry. He probably can't believe it. He's in shock. His players are in shock. His coaches are in shock, and he definitely looks like he's getting ready to cry. Oh, man, what's going to happen? What's going to be his future? I have zero idea, but I am going to stay tuned and find out what happens to Dabo Swinney. If he does get fired or if he does leave, I will give you guys my reaction to that. Okay? So let's see what other games we have on that are going on right there. That was a good game for them. Good game for Syracuse. Not a good game for Clemson. No. I don't know what Clemson is going to do, man. I just really don't. But let's see. What game does this take me to now? Duke and North Carolina State. I think North Carolina State is undefeated, ain't they? I'm not sure. I'll see their record here in like a few seconds. Okay, so yeah. Wow, North Carolina State is undefeated. Pretty good start for North Carolina State. Duke, about what you expect from Duke, 1-2. Yeah, that's what you about expect from Duke. But it's the second quarter in this game. There's like 40 seconds left. Did Duke get in? No, they're calling him short. Okay, so he did not get in. It's 2nd and goal now. They're right at the goal line, Duke is. So they can take the lead, too, because I guess North Carolina State maybe missed the extra point, or maybe they got, I don't know exactly how, but maybe they got like a touchdown, a field goal, a touchdown, and then another field goal. Or it could be that they missed the extra point. I'm not sure, but either way, it is 20-14. So Duke is trying to put an L on North Carolina State, and wow, North Carolina State really should be happy with their team. So even if they lose, I don't feel like it's going to hurt North Carolina State that bad, right? Because they still have better competition ahead of, obviously, in their schedule. And I think they play some ranked teams also. So there's a chance for them to put a statement for their playoff run and hopes. And that's another thing I love about this 12-team playoff is that, there are going to be underdogs in there, but obviously I'm not going to be rooting for those underdogs. I just like that those underdogs get a chance to play against the big boys and maybe win. But it looks like it's Duke in. Touchdown, Duke! Okay, so Duke's got a touchdown. Pinned in the extra point. I don't see why their kicker would miss it, not unless they got the Tennessee kicker. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to let that go, Tennessee fans, all right? Don't come after me with your pitchforks. But no, yeah. So Duke scored touchdown. I'm assuming they're about to take the lead here. It'll be 21-20. Good job, Duke. I'm not really rooting for Duke. I'm not really rooting for North Carolina State. I just like watching the games. Honestly, I don't really care who wins this game at all, but I'm just saying the score for you guys, 21-20. Duke is in the lead by just 1 point, though. But there is only 15, 12 seconds left before the half, so I don't really see North Carolina State doing anything with the football at the moment. I'm sure they're probably, if I was North Carolina State, you're only down one. It's only halftime. Take a knee. Actually on the kick return, I'm telling my kick returner, try to get a touchdown when they kick the ball off. So maybe they'll get a touchdown by returning the ball. Probably not. So other than that happening, if I'm North Carolina State, yeah, you just want to take a knee. Go into the locker room, figure stuff out in there, and get ready for the next half. And you ain't got to be sad or disappointed or frustrated, You're only down by 1 point. And it's against Duke. Nothing against Duke, but we all know that Duke is just that team that's there, right? they're just that team that likes to play football. They like to play football at Duke. They do. That's why they play. Okay, so yeah. He's not going to do anything with that kick return, so. Oh, dang! Yo, that come to blows? For a second there, it looked like that Duke player was throwing punches. But he was just hitting the air out of excitement because he made the tackle. Okay. At first, I thought he was hitting up on the other player. But no, that wasn't the case. So, yeah, totally expect that's what North Carolina State is doing. They're going to take this game to half. So, it's 20 North Carolina State. And it's 21 Duke Blue Devils. So Duke is up ahead in that game by 1 point. Florida State, number 7, 42-7 on Kent State. Obviously, that is what Florida State is supposed to do against one of the worst, if not the worst, college football team in college, which is Kent State. Let's face it, basically they're playing a scrimmage game against themselves, Florida State. So let's go and check the Ole Miss versus Tulane game. Let's check that out. Let's see what the progress is for that game real quick, if it pops up. Okay, so, I didn't realize that Tulane was 3-0 either. A lot of undefeated teams are playing each other this week. And that's what I want for our game next week against Washington. That's the only reason why I want Washington to win their game against Washington State. It's so, they can take their first L by us, and we'll have that competition, I feel like, that better competition against the Washington team. That is just, I don't know. Washington is one of those teams where they can be good one season and bad the next season. I don't know. It depends on what their player is, but hopefully they're able to beat their rival in Washington State so we can give them their first L. And that game will just be a whole lot more. But Ole Miss is winning in this game. It's the third quarter, 23-3. Both teams are undefeated. So both teams are trying to stay undefeated, but it's not looking good for Tulane. They're obviously the underdog here. Ole Miss is ranked 13th in the nation right now, but they are putting the ball back to Tulane. What are you doing? Oh, okay. Rad. Did he step out, I wonder? I don't know if that Tulane, but Tulane's got a mountain to climb for them. I don't really see them beating Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to win this game. It's not really even that entertaining game. I mean, it is only the third quarter with about 5 minutes and some change left on the clock. So there's that game going on. I don't know if I'll be watching that. Let's see. Let's check out the Oregon. Oh, yeah, Oregon and Oregon State. I'm pretty sure Oregon State should be dominating Oregon State because they are 0-3. Oregon State is. Yeah, Oregon State's 0-3. And, yeah, this game's basically over as well. So it looks like Oregon, the number 6 team in the nation, is about to go 4-0. Yeah, I bet you Oregon fans are really lucky. Yeah. Okay, look. All right. I don't think Oregon State is on our schedule. I could be wrong about that. I don't know our complete schedule, but if we're not playing Oregon in the regular season, I really, really hope that we either see them in the playoffs or the Big Ten championships because somebody needs to humble Oregon and their fans because they think they're like way up there with the best of them. All right. They're not the top of the mountain. We're the top of the mountain. The Ohio State Buckeyes, the defending national champs. But Oregon fans and Oregon players, they need to get humbled. So hopefully we meet them in the Big Ten championship game or the playoff game, and we're able to humble that team. Because Oregon's not beating us, baby. The only advantage that Oregon really have is when they're playing at home is their stadium. I mean, if you ever seen a visiting team go to Oregon, they have to walk like really, really far just to get to their dressing room. And when they get to their dressing room, it's just a terrible dressing room. I've seen videos, I've seen games where they have to walk like a mile or something just to get to the actual stadium, and their dressing room's like a mile away from there. And Oregon did that on purpose. There's a video out there of the athletic director talking about that, where they did that on purpose. They thought it would help their team and make the other team like tired or whatever. Walking on cleats and on concrete is not fun. But yeah, but Oregon just needs to be humbled. So do I really have a look out for Oregon? No, I just want to play Oregon this season. There's 2 teams in mind I want my Ohio State Buckeyes to play. Oregon and Georgia. I really want to beat Georgia. I know we can beat Georgia. Everybody knows we can beat Georgia, okay? That kick eats at me, yes, because I talk about it all the time. We only lost by inches. By inches! Not like Tennessee did. Tennessee lost by a mile. That kick was way off. Our kick was like there. And now Georgia fans don't think we can beat them. Okay. Well, I said before, even Georgia knows we can beat them. The Georgia players know. The Georgia head coaches. But the Georgia fans have their head so far up in the clouds, they don't realize that we was only inches away from beating them in that playoff game. Or that national champ, whatever it was. But those are the those are the two teams I really hope we get to play this year. Georgia and Oregon. Just to beat both of those teams and retain our title in the same season and beating Michigan in the same season. Yes, absolutely perfect season, if you ask me. But I really hope we do play those two games. But Oregon's taking care of business here. You know, it's basically another scrimmage game, a cupcake game. Oregon State is 0-3. Pretty typical for Oregon State. Not a surprise there at all. So Oregon's going to walk away with this one. What the final score will be, I don't know. And frankly, I don't care. Okay? It is what it is. Let's go check the other scores. All right? Let's see. Who else can we look at? Tulane, Ole Miss. They're about to go into the fourth quarter. I really think Ole Miss is going to beat Tulane. I don't see Tulane really doing much, honestly. North Carolina, I don't want to check that game. Talk about Michigan. I hope Michigan's losing to Nebraska. That'll be so funny. I'm going to check that score, too. Just first, I'm going to check. Okay, this game's on commercial. So let's go ahead and check out the Michigan versus... Who are they? Oh, Nebraska. If I can. Okay, there it is. Michigan at Nebraska. And of course, this game's on commercial too. So, oh wait, no, here, I can just do this. Duh. Why didn't I think of this before? Let's see. Okay, so, yeah, this game's basically over. UCF is taking it to North Carolina. Ouch. Ouch. I heard a lot of big hype about North Carolina this year, but North Carolina has not lived up to that hype at all. Don't know what's happening in North Carolina. That's a problem they got to figure out. But they are absolutely getting destroyed by UCF. I don't know what UCF win-loss record is at the moment. Maybe I'll be able to find out. Just maybe. But here is the Nebraska and stupid that team up north. I'm going to stop before. Listen, anytime you hear me say that team up north, I'm referring to Michigan. I hate even saying their name, okay? So I'm just referring to that team up north. And you know who I'm talking about, all right? But as soon as the score pops on, we'll be able to see. Oh, it looks like UConn's beating Ball State. Okay. Okay, so that team up north is 2-1, obviously, because I remember them losing. And Nebraska is 3-0. Now it's only 20-17 in the third quarter. So hopefully Nebraska, listen, I want that team up north to lose every single game they play. Now, it is nice whenever they get a good record and they're ranked and then we play them because that game gets hyped up. But honestly, that rivalry game at the end that we play every year don't need any more hype to it. It's already hyped. It's the biggest rivalry in college football. Point blank, period. There is no comparison. The biggest rivalry. So that game really don't need to be hyped up anymore. But anytime we have a good record, they have a good record, and we're playing and we're both ranked, yeah, it's going to hype it up that like 100 times more. But I want that team up north to lose every single game. So come on, Nebraska. Come on and get a W. Beat these, which I think is a terrible team. I almost called them something else, but that team up north, it's a terrible team. They always will have a terrible team. They'll always have terrible coaches. Yes, they've beaten us for like 2-3 years straight, okay? Yes, that is true. But that's just because of Ryan Day. For whatever reason, that's Ryan Day's kryptonite. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I don't know, but he's winning national championship for us. So Ryan Day can't stay around. But there's a line, right? The horse can only go so far with all of the weight on its back. It's going to be I don't know. This year is different though. This year I feel like we definitely need to beat that team up north. This year Ryan Day needs to redeem himself. I've already talked about this in other videos, so I'm not going to go into it, but I'm just not going to go into it. We need to beat the team up north. But hopefully Nebraska will go 4-0 by beating this team up north. It is the third quarter, right in the middle of the third quarter, so only time will tell. Definitely keep an eye out for that game. Ooh, okay, good. That didn't ruin anything. Let's see what else we have here. Mississippi State is beating Northern Illinois. That's no surprise there. It's 14-10 halftime. Georgia Tech is absolutely demolishing Temple. Georgia Tech is winning 21-0. They might get a shutout. Probably not. Temple has some weapons on their offense, so I won't be surprised if they don't get the shutout, Georgia Tech. But I'll say that I think Georgia Tech probably is going to win because that triple option is a lot to defend. For Temple especially, you know. They're going to have their hands full. So I think Georgia Tech will take that game. And that is all the updates I have for at the moment. Ball State and UConn are both. Okay, no, UConn won apparently 17-10. Ball State lost to UConn. So there's that. And I think that's all the updates for now. Okay, yeah, that's all the updates for now. That'll be it for me for now. I was going to say what I normally say, but I think that's might be getting annoying. I mean, to me, at least it's, I don't know. But anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Uh-oh, I was supposed to stop the video. Now what am I supposed to do? I know, staring contest. Me and you. Go! Okay, you won. All right. Go Buckeyes.